Got the ball, on pass, till I'm gone. I can laugh when I'm on. I'm not a prophet, I'm getting profits. This is that God shit. You wanna be flossing, then you cannot trip off your losses. Young bullshit, spend the whole bag on my baby.
Hey y'all, what's good? It's your boy Shaq the Beast, man. I'm here in the house, and we finally getting to the point. We at the point where I have everything but the rod bearings. I had rod bearings, but we had to like switch up because we went from 10 over to standard, back to standard with this new crank. So now I'm about to show y'all how to put this crankshaft in, how you should bolt it in. I'm gonna teach you how to do that. And then tomorrow I should get the rod bolts or rod bearings, and we'll probably be going through all the process of how to build this engine. So, you know, if you gotta pause the video, check out anything, you know, just go ahead and hit pause. But we at this point, man, we officially at the point where we're building the motor. So I'm gonna bring y'all outside with me, and we're gonna check it out. Let's go do this. All right, y'all. As you can see, I already have the main studs already in. I had assembled these and I was gonna record it, but like I said, I came with we had the wrong size bearing. These are the wrong size bearings in here now. So I'm gonna show you guys how you should clean this out and how to remove bearings. Actually, it's not that hard. You literally could just press them and pull them out. It's not that hard, but yeah, these are the wrong bearings. We have the right bearings now. My guys down at Budlong hooked me up with the right bearings. These are actually the coated, hardened bearings. It was about like $110, and then the rods were like 80 bucks. So we're gonna put all these in. I actually got some different kind of lube as well. We got a different assembly lube. And we're gonna get all these taken out, cleaned out, and then hopefully get my 4-inch crank in, and then tomorrow or the next video I could have more footage of me putting the rods and the pistons in. So right now we're only going to be doing removal and install. That's all we're going to do right now. So let's get to it. So what I like to do, man, so you have like this notch side right here. If you can see it, it's like a little lip right here. Then you have the smooth side. What I do is with my thumbs, I'll push on this side, it'll come up, and just grab it out. You know, anybody that needs some 10 over bearings, you let me know in the comments and I'll send them off to you for free because I don't really need them. Got all the bearings out. Now we're about to clean it up with a little bit of brake clean. I'm gonna use AutoZone brake clean. You already know what I do. Non-chlorinated. Spray down the block so we can get all this old assembly lube out of there. I didn't like that kind that was in there, so spray that. So now we can crack open our new hardened coated bearings. So we crack these open to show y'all. A lot of people just are fine with just running standard, but like I said, we're running 1,000 horsepower capable engine, so we're gonna be spraying, beating the hell out this thing. So these are a little bit different, as you can see. They have little grooves so oil can get in there. A little bit different bearings, but these are what we're running in our engine. So let's get some. Dries quick by itself, but me myself, I still like to wipe it down. So these are the tops. Yeah, these are the tops. So I'm gonna grab the bottom. So your bearings will come with a little notch in them, showing you which one goes where. God damn, if I get this pack open, Jesus. So these things come notched. As you can see the little nip, little tip top right there. That goes into this little groove. Let's see if I can get you to look at this. So look, so you see this little, see a little tip top right there. Very difficult to get my finger on it. That little tip top, that will go into this groove right there. So LSs are pretty simple with this. So alright, so it's the finished progress, how they're supposed to look. As you can see, I got the little notch inside there. So these are some pretty good bearings. The first thing I like to do before I put the crankshaft in, throw a little assembly lube on the bearings. Alright. Your crankshaft. Make sure you know your front from your back. Gently lower it in there. Now one thing I like to do is I'll give it a turn, make sure it can turn, then you know you have the right size bearings. It should turn this easy. That's how easy your crankshaft should turn. Without the caps on it, that's how easy it should turn. So now we have to do the same for our caps. We have the wrong size bearing in there, so we have to take them out. Like I said, all I do is put my thumb on the part that doesn't have the little nipple or the little indent on it, and I just push and pull it off. That simple. Trash bearings, well, they're not trash, they're still good bearings, but I have no need for them, so I probably won't be using them. But these are all the good semi-trash bearings. The ones I don't need, like I said, they're 10 over from stock, so if anybody needs them, let me know. Alright, so now since I took all the old bearings, I'm gonna go ahead and clean them off with some brake cleaner. Let those dry off for about 15 minutes. Alright, so now I let them dry off for 15 minutes. You gotta find which one goes where. So how do you do that? They have little numbers on them. So number 5 goes far back side, but number 5 is a special one. It faces the opposite direction of all other ones. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So normally these little points right here will all point to the back of the engine. 1 through 4 will always point to the back. So now number 5 is the special one. It points reverse, so it'll point to the front. Bearings in. Go ahead and hit it with some assembly lube. Doesn't need much like it did the first one, just a little bit. Oop, getting this shit everywhere. Hey, this is a cool thing I want to show y'all. I want to see if you can get it. It's not a sponsored video, but you know who made my block now. Come on now. Not a sponsored video though, but you know who made my block. So I'm gonna let you know, you always have this bearing with the lip on it. That's your number 3 in the middle bearing. This one with the lip on it. Didn't tell you that earlier, but I'm telling you that now. That is your in the middle bearing. So far, this is how it should look. We have number 1 facing towards the back, number 2 facing towards the back, number 3 facing towards the back, number 4 facing to the back, and number 5 facing to the front. That's how it should be. Don't ask me about this. They had to put more material in it to balance it out. There's too much taken out. But yeah, we got the studs, we have the caps on. Now we can go ahead and tighten these down, and I'll get to y'all, tell y'all what the torque is all. Alright, so for these studs, they're not like normal bolts. You can't torque them and then degree them and then be all good. These are torque only studs, so you will only torque these and pretty much be done with it. So hold on. So you will torque these and pretty much be done with it, but you have to torque these in a certain pattern. See if you can see that. That is the pattern that we're torquing these. It's a sequence that you got to torque these, because you can bend your crank. There's a possibility you can bend your crank, so you have to torque them in this sequence. I have the cheat. I know it off by heart, but this came with the box. I might as well show y'all. But you have to torque these in the sequence. Just throw a bolt on all of them. Okay, so inner studs are going to be torqued down to 60 foot-pounds. So the pattern we're going to do is 1, 2. I'm pretty sure it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that should be your pattern that you're going to do. To 60 foot-pounds. Start up here. Hear that click? That's how you know you hit your stopping point. Alright, so now that we got the insides all tightened up, gave it a couple spins, feels same as it did when I first started tightening it up. Now we're going to go tighten up the outsides in the same pattern. You're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then we're going to do the outside bolts as well. So what I like to do is get my little ARP, little bolt lubricant. Don't need much, but you want to throw a little bit on there, so I'll just get a little dab, like about that much, and I'll just smooth it out with my finger. So now that we got the RTV on the end of the bolts on these sides, you want to torque these down, the ones on the outside of the caps, torque those down to 20 foot-pounds with RTV on the head of the bolt, like on the inner head of the bolt. So I got some RCV on there. So now you want to just get that, your torque wrench, turn it to 20 foot-pounds. Okay, cool. I'm going in the same pattern that we did before. Cool. Now they're all torqued down. Everything torqued. You want to give it another spin. Everything's all good. All right, so this is like a little bonus to the video. I'm trying to show you something. So my rings were already pre-gapped. I kind of got them to do them because they got a machine there that can do it at Budlong. So I'm about to show you. These are some rings that I have just laying around the garage. This is basically how you would use a filler gauge. So this ring is not gapped. Hold on, let's see if you can see it. This ring right here is not gapped. So what you do is you'll find a filler gauge. Right here it's 0.006, and you'll basically try to get it into the gap. Now if you're struggling, I'm gonna tell you right now that shouldn't go in there. Right now, see how smooth that goes in there, and I can get it out. That means this is the right filler gauge for this gap. So now if you want to gap it, what you'll do is you'll grind them down, grind the edges down, and then you'll find your right feeler gauge. Let's say you gapped it 22. Let's see if I can get that zoom. Say you gapped it 22. When you go to put that in there in that gap, that should fit in there and it should have no resistance. Like it shouldn't block you from going in there if you gapped it 22. Now I say go one up from that to double check to make sure you're 22 and not 24, because it'll slide in a 25 gap. Easy, it'll slide in, but just best believe it won't slide in 18. So try to get a little feel for it, you know. I just want to show y'all that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright y'all, so that's all I got for today. Next video I'll probably show you how to throw in the rods and the pistons. But as you can see, we got the whole motor wrapped up. Just keep all the dust and bugs and debris and everything out of it. But that's pretty much it. Like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends. Peace out.
Provided for my family, cause that's what I'm supposed to do. Yeah. Hey, 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 hey. Sunrise, no calls, get a bag, got the ball, I don't pass till I'm gone. I can laugh when I'm on.